So you may or may have not heard about the SwitchPod. It's a little contraption that kind of looks like a tripod, but then it morphs into this other thing really quickly, and it tries to solve a problem that is really critical amongst vloggers and some YouTubers, really. And it's kind of cool because you can go from vlog mode to tripod mode literally in a matter of seconds. Now, we were probably all familiar with the Joby GorillaPod because this thing's been around for a very long time. It's pretty versatile in the sense that you can really morph it and twist it and shape it into any direction that you really want. You can make it into a tripod, you can hang it from a tree, you can hang it from a rail, or if you want to go low angle, you can do a lot of things, but at the expense of the structural integrity of the product. You see, this is made out of a solid piece of aluminum, meaning that it's not going to bend or move or do anything like that. Now, that could be a pro or a con, depending on the situation. The problem with the GorillaPod, and in my experience, and I think a lot of you may agree with me, is the fact that it takes a lot of finagling. For example, if I want to get it into that tripod mode, I have to fiddle around with it, kind of arc it and make it work. And then once you do that, and then let's say you want to go back into tripod mode, then you have to open up the legs, and then depending on how heavy the camera is, it starts to fall. Whereas this, it's already in tripod mode and I can easily just pick it up and go into my vlogging mode without really any problems. Now, the big key differences between the two is, as I said earlier, is the fact that you can actually mold the GorillaPod and shape it into any type of form that you really wanted to. These little ball joints are not as strong as you think. In fact, if I mount a camera up above and I pick it up with one leg, usually what happens is this. It'll just fall into place. Where this is made out of a solid piece of aluminum, and if I were to pick up this camera with just one leg, nothing will happen because it's really strong and sturdy. Obviously, you can't mold this and shape it into anything you want, so there is that major trade-off. Now, I'm making this video because the inventor of this product is actually a personal friend of mine. I am not getting paid to do this. I'm making this video to help him out with his campaign because I really think it's an awesome product. Now, this video is not to bash on the GorillaPod. This is just another tool in your arsenal. This is still a great tool. It's still versatile. It is very handy. In fact, it has come in clutch several times where this would not be able to work in my situation. But I do feel that when they came to designing the GorillaPod, it was more of the jack of all trades, master of none, where this does a lot of things right and this does some things pretty good. So it just really comes down to picking the right tool for the job. I feel that both of these can accomplish similar things, however, one will do it much better than the other. Obviously, if you're a vlogger and all you're really doing is grabbing the camera, filming yourself, and then setting it down, I find this much easier to use than the GorillaPod. However, if you are hiking, if you are in the jungle, if you are in a particular environment where it does require you to really shape this tripod and make it your own, then obviously this would be the better choice. Now, I do find traveling with this is much easier than the GorillaPod. This can be a little bit bulky because you have these little balls around that just take up a lot of space. Also, if you want to mount a light, if you want to mount a monitor or even a microphone, they do sell an arm kit with the GorillaPod that you have to buy additional. It does take up more space in your camera bag. It adds more bulk, and it just kind of looks funny. This actually, again, these are things that I think that they really thought through when making and designing this. Has two 1/4-inch mounts on two of the legs that you can mount, for example, a magic arm, and you can put maybe a monitor. If you want to mount a microphone or even a light, you can easily do that without adding or buying anything additionally, and it's already built into the system. Also, you can see the design, these shapes here where you can attach a carabiner. So one of the things that I like to do, for example, when I travel, is mount my camera on my left side here with a Peak Design clip, and then I can easily use a carabiner and mount this on my right side, and I can easily attach both the camera and the SwitchPod in under 10 seconds. And I'll show you guys how that works. I hate carrying gear, man. Like, I really don't like to carry gear. I love this. How fast do you think it's gonna take me to take this out and put the camera on top? What do you think?
Probably like 30 seconds.
30 seconds, you ready? All right. Done. How long was that?
Like 5-10 seconds.
Really?
Yeah.
Now the way this works is very similar to how the GorillaPod works. You can mount the camera directly to the SwitchPod. There's no other additional accessories needed, or you can use a ball head similar to how this GorillaPod is equipped with. So for example, you can actually even take the ball head from the GorillaPod. So if you already own one, you can take this out and mount it up above over here. Very easy, very effortlessly. There's a small little knob underneath that you use to tighten that. You can tighten the camera, you can tighten the ball head, and that actually helps in areas where there's an uneven surface. Now, obviously this is probably gonna work better in uneven surfaces because you can just really shape it and mold it to however you want. Now this does work better when you use a ball head because you can obviously align it and center it, which makes it a lot better, as opposed to if there's nothing there and you have an uneven surface, then the camera is going to fall. So for the time that I've been using it, I've really enjoyed the product. I think it's a great product. I think that it's just, again, another tool that can coexist with something like this. I like the fact that if you're vlogging, you can quickly go into a tripod mode, put your camera down. I know for a fact that a lot of times when I've used this, there's been times where I don't feel comfortable leaving my camera because we've all seen that happen where it just gets weak over time and it falls in its face. Also, I've tried using this with the 1DX Mark II, and although you can technically put it on there, it's not as sturdy. Now, take for example something like this. This has a 24-70, give me 1 second. So now I have this really large cinema lens that weighs a lot, and I'm gonna swap it out. This thing's heavy. If you ever hold a cinema lens, it's really heavy. I can tell you right now, if I try to do this with that, it won't work, okay? It will not work like that. I can vlog with a cinema lens and put it down without any problems. These are the things that, again, if you're using a camera that has a lot of accessories, or if you're using a heavy lens or just a heavy camera, I like the structural integrity of this over the GorillaPod. Not to say this is bad. I've used this in environments where I did need to twist it onto something, and this came in clutch, as opposed to if I had this would not work. Now, there are things I don't like about the SwitchPod that I want to share with you. Even though he is my friend, I think feedback is very important, and he does appreciate that. For example, number one, I wish that it came with somewhat a non-slip material on the grip, on the handle. Although it's very comfortable, I do feel like if it was something a little bit more grippy, it would be nice. I did mention that. The other thing too that kind of concerns me, and I've brought it up to him, to his attention, is the legs. It's so easy to just kind of, see? I wish there was a way, maybe if you push this little button over here, the little SwitchPod logo right here, if there was a way if I can just push this in or have a little button or switch that it will lock into place so that I know that if somebody comes or does that, it's not gonna fall. So those are little things that concern me about this. Again, I've used it, I haven't had an issue so far yet. Lastly, this is just more of a small little thing, is different colors. I think that'd be nice to kind of personalize it. That's not a big deal, but I think the non-slip and the locking mechanism would definitely improve this product, and also possibly a built-in or integrated ball head. Yes, you can mount your own ball head. You can do that, but it would be nice if it was smaller, compact, and already integrated into the system. So once again, I am not getting paid by my friend. I'm doing this because I'm trying to help him out. However, full disclaimer, if you do use the affiliate link down below, I do get a small kickback and it does help out the channel. So if you are interested in buying one and picking one up for yourself, make sure you do so because I will highly appreciate it. My name is Armando. Thanks again for watching, and you will catch me in the next one. Adios.